Yeah, dear ladies and gentlemen, also from my side, a warm welcome. My name is Markus Müller, and I'm the CTO and CSO here at DEUTZ. So welcome to the Capital Market Day. We are happy to have you here. In the next 15 to 20 minutes, I would like to introduce you in the latest developments along the Dual Plus strategy, focusing on DEUTZ Green and DEUTZ Service. Let's start with the, we call it our solution park. And again, having you here, you will see in the afternoon session that we will present you the products, that you get a look and feel about that. So it's more than the presentation here in the room. You will experience all the products or most of the products you will see here. In the past, and as Sebastian mentioned earlier, in the past we were pretty much focused on here's the engine, here's a gearbox or hydraulics, and maybe an upcoming emission stage. And that was pretty much the past where we were in this system and in the dialogue with the customers. And that is what we have to change. We call it, we need to think in an ecosystem. We not just want to provide products with hydrogen or based on electric drives. We also want to ensure that our customers can use the products on the construction side. Means that we ensure that somewhere on the landscape we have electricity available, that the customer can refuel or recharge the application. And that is the message we want to give you on this slide. You see on the left the orange ring. That is the area of the combustion engines, and you see that we will launch also new products, the 3.9 liter engine in the cooperation we do with John Deere. This will be a brand new future-proofed engine with a lot of improvements we made also on the TCO side. Also in a power category from 65 to 130 kilowatt, where we believe strongly that this power category will also remain as a combustion engine technology the next decades and beyond. So therefore we bring here a new product. You heard about the medium duty and heavy duty engine segment in the cooperation with Daimler Truck. Here we will have also a very competitive lineup in the future, also targeting higher power categories. And then let's talk about the hydrogen engine. So a lot of interest, a product. We believe hydrogen will play a major role in the energy transition. And I'm a bit proud that we as DEUTZ were at least one of the first, I do not want to say the first, but one of the first engine manufacturers which were committed, which will not just present a demonstrator. We launched all the investments and we have all activities started that this engine will be industrialized. I'll show you later also where we are in the process. Therefore, look to the top in this middle ring. We showed last year at the DEUTZ Days that we integrated in a 20 feet container the hydrogen engine, the generator, and also the hydrogen tanks, 700 bar hydrogen tanks. So a first product where you see somewhere on the landscape we can generate electricity if no energy supply is available at all. You see at the bottom, that is also a question we get usually. So what about the fuel cell? You talk a lot about the hydrogen engine. For sure, we are close to that technology. We invested, that is the reason that we invested in Blue World. So the special fuel cell technology where we believe that fits pretty good for the off-road segment. But I have later a slide with me where we see also some pro and cons right now. So we are close to both technologies. And the power tree is then the bridge to the electrification segment, where you see on the slide first customer products and pre-series like mini excavator 25 units we provided to Hitachi, or we believe pretty much also in the airport support equipment segment. This will also, there's a heavy push that this will dominantly be electrified in future. But also with the competencies we have, we try to sell our DEUTZ battery where it's possible. But if we have special customer requests, and you see here also at the bottom a product here, that is a product you integrate on an on-road truck trailer, cooling trailer with recuperation. So it means we have the competencies also to customize special batteries as long as it fits not to our, when it does not fit to our standard product kit. Let me give you also one word to the world of refuels. So we have fuels which are based on electricity, green electricity. We will have fuels based on biomass. And one important message is even today, if our customers must have a climate neutral solution on a construction site, we can offer HVO, biomass-based fuels, which will reduce significantly the CO2 footprint, as we show here, by 92%, and also have a positive impact on other pollution components like NOx or particulates. So that is something which in some areas of Europe, take Sweden, is much more popular. You can go there to a gas station and already tank these biofuels, HVO. We in Germany started now to adjust the legislation, so we are pretty sure this will give also now a push. And the last comment to that, because that is also usually an argument we hear, it's not a tank or plate discussion. HVO are fuels based on biomass waste. It's not that it's something where you steal or you're in competition with our food chain. So it's a fuel which is based on biomass. So here we have already today an option to reduce significantly CO2. Let's talk about hydrogen now. And why do we believe in this hydrogen engine? Well, first of all, both technologies, as I said, is common. If you talk about fuel cell and combustion engine, both need hydrogen as a fuel, so the infrastructure must be there. Secondly, both technologies need storage. So we can call it the challenge to store also hydrogen on board a machine, is they have both the same challenges. If you then see right now the pro and cons for each technology, we see a clear benefit for the combustion engines, and we will again look to both technologies, but right now the combustion engine offers plenty of advantages. First of all, that was also a journey. Hydrogen combustion engine is accepted as zero emission technology in the EU, in Brussels. So it was not clear the last years. That we were always confronted that we can measure CO2 emissions downstream the exhaust pipe, but now there's an agreement if the hydrogen or if the fuel carries no carbon molecule with it, so then you can also have no CO2 emissions. So that is done. So we have the same basis like the fuel cell, it's CO2 free technology, it's accepted. Secondly, well, we show it in our next door, we will show it to you. It's pretty much a combustion engine like we produce it today. For sure there are some changes, dominantly on the software control. It's on the combustion technology we have to optimize and to develop. It's about modifications on turbocharger. And you have to modify the cylinder head to bring in the ignition system. But at the end, it's our core competence, combustion engines. If you look then to our supplier base, the install capacity, it's a robust technology, and we know in the service how to deal with a combustion engine fired with hydrogen. So that are clear arguments, and the most important argument, our customers need to earn money with their machines. And if you look to TCO and also the investments you have to do, so we talk about factors. Today, we talk about factor 5 to 6 if you compare a combustion engine with hydrogen and a fuel cell. So these are already, that I could mention some more, but you see with just a rational argument, this technology has the right to win. And you see on the timeline our journey. So we released all the capacities, as I said. Our test center, we have 5 test cells already running. Until end of the year, 10 test cells are able to operate with hydrogen. We made the investments for the production side, so that is released. We had our first demonstrator. I do not want to stress that more. That was with the Rhein Energy, the first genset. We launched a few field testing machines. We signed the letter of intent, as Sebastian showed, with the GenZ project in China, where we call it waste hydrogen as fuel, and can hopefully sell the first 100 units soon. We are prepared for that. And we are back in some applications I will show on the next slide. What I can say today is we keep our word. Next year you will get the hydrogen engine out of the production. So we are on track on the timeline. Sebastian showed already the potential areas of applications, and that is the reason why we also choose the 7.8. So the 7.8 gives us plenty of options today. We start with GenZ. Why GenZ? It's also a bit obvious that here we have less challenges if it comes to hydrogen supply, hydrogen storage. That is much easier to manage, and also it's the first step in the development which we have to pass. After that, we go into mobile applications. Train, we will find next year at the InnoTrans our engine integrated in a regional train, Regionalexpress in German. You will find that next year. We won a public funded project where we are back in the on-road business. We will set up 18-ton delivery trucks. One will operate at BMW in the logistics between Nuremberg and Leipzig, and one truck will operate in our facility. So we are looking pretty much forward to have this truck running next year. And last but not least, no surprise, for sure, off-road, our core competence, big excavators, big harvesters, big tractors in future. We are pretty confident that this area will take hydrogen also as a fuel. That was a lot about hydrogen, and you see we are, and the teams are fascinated to go ahead with this product lines. So, but electrification is also a journey. It's now 5 to 6 years, and when we started the electrification journey, and I want to give you today an update. What I can say, today we have all core competencies on board, so it's not a question. So we have done there a lot the last years. So dealing with battery electric vehicles, that is a core competence we have achieved. In 2021, we started the first field tests. Also here, first demonstrator, first pre-series, that is where we are. But Sebastian showed already, we will have do a next step when we change the organization, the reasons. I think Sebastian already explained that is where we think with a better go-to-market strategy, with their new push, we will be there more successful. But today, I'm also a bit proud to say that we reached a very important milestone recently, and that is that we have now a high voltage system which is ready for serious production. It was a journey, and it was also we faced many challenges. Here you see an overview what it means when I talk about a high voltage system. I do not want to talk about each component, but that is what you need to let's say to have a drivetrain with high voltage systems. I want to focus on the battery because that is core. Yes, we will buy battery modules, but all the rest is engineered and designed by us. So it's in our industry right now where we try to electrify a Golf 8 instead of talking about an ID4. So that is where our industry is in. So therefore, try to use the same design space you have for the classic drive and integrate a full electric drive. That is what our customers are looking for right now. And that was also our design target when we set up our product kit. So battery, including the battery management system, that is all in our hand. For sure, Software is our core competence. So software is developed here at DEUTZ. So we have all degree of freedoms to modify and optimize here special functions for our customers. And the system is able to operate with 2 e-motors, one for the drive, one for the working load. Each engine 40 kilowatt and 80 kilowatt peak. That gives us a broad range where we can serve customer applications. In the last 2 years, we faced also challenges when it came to our existing customer base, and about a first serious project. So some of them we lost. That was disappointing for us, and we struggled with that. And because one thing which was always important for us in the development was that we meet the highest functional safety requirements. It's based on the ISO 26262, that is the highest automotive standard, but that was also the area where we had the challenges to fulfill all these requirements. And customers where we lost business in the past, fortunately, come now back, and we are back at the table. And I have also an example with me today. They also learned painfully that it's more than setting up a demonstrator. That's a different case that if you talk about quality processes, ensure robustness in a serious production, including safety measures, that this is something where they now come back and count on us. And here's the example I want to present today. The latest achievement, the customer Kerscher, where Kerscher will launch its first electrified sweeper. So I think it makes a lot of sense where these machines operate in the city, good access to electricity. And we won the first application, which will be launched next year, where we will provide the battery system in full swing. We talk about beyond 200 batteries per year. And with that, we also back to the table to discuss further applications where we also get the chance to extend our scope of supply. So a very great project, good collaboration here with Kerscher, and we are happy also to announce this project today. One word to this slide where Sebastian also showed earlier. So we are on a journey and ask ourselves, where's our right to win, our right to play, based on our core competences. And I would like to make you a bit more familiar with that, what that means. So on the left side, that is our core competence, combustion engines, more or less. And it's obvious that when we talk about climate neutral fuels or any kind of fuels, that this is something which we have in our DNA, and the team is able to try to find solutions and new products. That is the left area here, where we are pretty much in our comfort zone. If we go a bit more right in the adjacencies, then I have here an example, our power tree or DEUTZ business. From the past, we know how to manage thermal management. So cooling batteries today, we cool engines, so we know also cooling batteries. Software development, how to industrialize products. That is core competence we had. But with the acquisition of Vutavis as example, that was necessary also to gain competence on battery management systems, just as an example. And if we go further right in the exploration area, Sebastian explained already the example of Talpa, where we also step into business models, digital business models to ensure uptime for our customers. But there's for sure, as you can imagine, much more in the pipeline where we are doing our homework. This slide should just give you a little bit more insight what it means in this journey where we are working on. Let's talk about service. In our Dual Plus strategy, I would say the plus, because service is the lever for profitability, and service gives us then the opportunities also for the necessary investments we have ahead of us. Therefore, we are on a strong track with service and want to target the 600 million in 2025. Here's some KPIs from the field out of service. Last year, we did a revenue of 450 million. We have globally 925 service dealers. I think that is one of the big strengths of us, that we can ensure our customers that we are in a short period of time at their machine. So even in the US, where we are today, are pretty happy that we can ensure within 3 hours to reach each customer all over North America. So we have a global presence. We send more than 20 million parts per year. Exchange engines. So that is a very important area also if it comes to sustainability, where we take engines out of the field, refurbish and give them a second life. It's also an important puzzle piece in our strategy. And more than 165,000 deliveries every year. So some impressive numbers in a nutshell. If you look to the revenue and where it comes from and the distribution, if we cut the cake, then 68% of our revenue is parts, 20% is exchange, and 12% is out of the billable hours. These numbers we doubled already the last 5 years, and we will continue to work on that. You will see also later some examples. And we have today an installed basis of 2.3 million engines out of the field, and each engine gives us a potential of 750 euro revenue. I come to the market outlook soon. So there's a field where we can gain even more service revenue than we have today. One example, honestly a very pragmatic example, so it's not always so complicated that you need great strategies. You see here in the middle of the US, one of our technicians in a van somewhere in the landscape, and that is also part of our strategy. So we have today 37 vans of this, so we have a quite small investment, you have a quite fast return of invest, and the most important thing is this gives us the opportunity to be fast at the customer. And one important thing is simplify the service for our customers. So once we are at the machines, we do not want to serve just in bracket our engine or maybe a competitor engine. We also, if we identify a leakage on the hydraulic system, we want to fix it. We want to help the customer to be one face to him, and we hope also there that is part of the strategy to gain their revenue. And here you see some numbers Sebastian already mentioned. I want to give you here also a deeper insight. So the total market already said is 60 billion in spare parts and about 10 billion for the billable service. If you look down then to the DEUTZ attainable market, where DEUTZ products in, that is 1.1 billion and 0.7, so about 1.8. And out of that, we do today the 450 million. So that means if we go to the first in this area, so that are competitors which do service for our engines, here we want to attack. So here we want to get more of this cake. Because we have all competencies, here we will push that we get service revenue. And this portion here, the bigger part, 14.9 and 9.9 billion, that is where we also believe that if we just take 1 percentage point here, we talk about 250 million. So it's a huge lever on our journey to 2025, and that should give you also, let you feel a bit more comfortable that if we talk about these steps in the service revenue, that's achievable. So, and we are confident with the teams, with the path, and that is my last slide, that with organic and inorganic growth, we will meet the 600 million in 2025. And for sure, once we are in 2025, it will not stop, then we will set the next targets. But you see, we are strong in service, we want to get even stronger in service, and we have the potential to get stronger in service. So thank you very much. And now I will hand over to Timo for the CFO perspective. Thank you.